President of El Salvador is coming to the White House on Monday. Does President Trump want him to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia with him?
The Supreme Court made their ruling last night very clear that it's the administration's responsibility to facilitate the return, not to effectuate the return.
Okay, so that's the absolute BS wordplay that Karoline Leavitt is going to do for what the Supreme Court said. Supreme Court said, you got to bring this guy back. He was never supposed to be deported. You guys made the mistake. You guys were so stupid, so incompetent, so boneheaded that a guy could potentially die at any moment. You need to bring him back. And she's like, well, I went on thesaurus.com and I preferred facilitate, so we can't do that, because what you guys need to understand is we don't have any power. We're so weak. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Pressure El Salvador? El Salvador's big, strong. We're tiny. We're little tiny people. We can't. What are we gonna do? Threaten them? Here's an idea of how weak we are. When you ask me a question that isn't even, are you gonna bring him back? It's just, would you like him to be brought back? I'm not even gonna say that because I don't want El Salvador to think that I'm like pressuring them a little bit, because what if they see this? What if they see this press release, this press conference, and then it looks like I'm pressuring? They might get me and they might crush America, which is weak and small under Donald Trump. El Salvador, big, America, weak. That's what they would have you believe. By the way, and that's what they're going with. That's not just her being as stupid as we know she is. That's the official line. Karoline Leavitt, Donald Trump, all of them want you to believe there is nothing, no world in which they could ever get someone back from a country like El Salvador. And by the way, now that they're just constantly talking about how sweet it would be to send US citizens there, when we combine that with how unrepentantly stupid they are, they're definitely gonna send an innocent American there. Guess they won't be able to get them back either. I mean, what are they supposed to do? They're so flaccid, they're so weak, so impotent in the face of El Salvador. But that's really what they're saying. That's what their lawyers are saying. And the great note from our producers, by the way, that was Newsmax asking them that question. That wasn't like, oh my God, they're being proud. Rachel Maddow with a steel chair. So no, that was Newsmax being super cool about it, and they had nothing. And so El Salvador's president did come and spoke with Trump. I didn't even know that we had diplomatic relations with them. I mean, I thought the wall was so thick between our two nations we could never get him back. He was here, and when he was asked if he'd return Garcia, he said, how can I return him to the US? I smuggle him into the US? Of course I'm not gonna do it. And that's a good point, because that's what we were asking for him to do. We were asking for him to smuggle him back in. And you'd have to, because clearly Donald Trump doesn't give a damn, doesn't want him back. I mean, what are either of them supposed to do? I feel like I'm in that classic scene from Swingers, where he's trying to like pump his boy up, and he's like, you're looking at this bunny and you're thinking, how do I kill this bunny? And I've got these claws and I've got these teeth, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to kill this bunny. Trump, just kill the goddamn bunny. I almost dropped an F-bomb. Just kill the goddamn bunny. And then El Salvador was like, I don't know, what am I supposed to? Are you asking for me to give him a piggyback ride from El Salvador? I couldn't possibly do it, my legs would get tired. Could literally one person in the story act like a human being for 10 seconds and just bring the guy back before he's shanked and lying dying on the floor of CCOT? I have more, clearly, but JR, this is a very frustrating story.
Well, they're going through a lot of wordplay, jumping through hoops and hurdles. They're trying to make sure that they make sure this guy's gone. I saw right before we came on, I saw Stephen Miller screaming on Fox News about this same thing. No one even asked him a question. His thumb face just got to screaming. So there's the thing. There's been so many lies. There's been so much direct fascism coming from this administration. It's been normalized that they'll do something like this. We're not even asking the most basic question or realizing the most basic reality here. They are fighting tooth and nail with the judicial system of this country to make sure someone that they had admitted was wrongfully deported stays deported. They're fighting to continue something they admitted was wrong. You shouldn't have to be forced by courts to do something right when you admitted you did something wrong. And you're the United States of America, and you're Donald Trump, and you're the Trump administration, and you're all powerful as they talk about. So they're fighting with our judicial system to continue doing wrong. and making that right. That's the standard that's being set right now. If we understand it, we'll see it going forward, how the next thing will be a standard that's wrong, that they'll admit to be wrong, will become fine going forward. So as you said, American citizen may be sent off as well too, because they've been teasing that as well. Let's not act like they haven't been doing that too. They've been talking about that as well. So as we continue to go into the next phases of this fascist regime, understand they're telling you they don't want to do right. They want to do wrong. They said so. They're fighting and they're defying court orders to do wrong. I said it 5 times, but I don't think it's penetrating enough people's brains. They're fighting to do wrong and to send folks off wrongfully to prison. And if this guy's killed, if he dies, whatever conditions put him in that particular situation, they don't care. He has a wife, he has a family. Who cares? Who cares? We want to do wrong in this country. We're a fascist country now. We do wrong.
100%. And this is the excuse we have. What are you supposed to do? Yeah, people in the chat, by the way, are talking about Brittany Griner being brought back. Otto Warmbier. We've gotten people back from terrorist organizations, despotic regimes.
Not our own.
You can't get them back from a guy you have a business relationship with, specifically having to do with the handling of prisoners. Look, I understand not nearly enough people. I can say nobody, not nearly enough people care about this story, which is why nobody's gonna watch this video. But I feel like this should be the biggest story in the country right now in terms of all this migration stuff, because it is the most obvious. Every facet of it is the most obvious. And so they say that he's still alive. Okay, I would love some proof on that. I would love some proof. They've already admitted that he never should have been sent there. How can this possibly continue this way? He's married to a US citizen, no criminal record. I think it's because they don't want him to be brought back, because if we accept that this guy can be abandoned, then we've given up on everyone. I mean, if the perfect person can just be abandoned, then what if it was someone who had committed shoplifting? Oh dear God, can you imagine? What if it's somebody who'd been in a fight? Well, forget about it. What if he held up a bad sign? Then we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. If they can win on this, then they think they can win on almost anything, and they might be right. Karoline Leavitt, Jesus. I want AOC to deport some militia members to I don't know, is there an underground prison in Madagascar or something? And then be like, oopsies, oopsie daisy, can't get him back. We don't know diplomacy. I just feel, I don't actually want that. I'm being mostly sarcastic. But I just want the right to understand how unacceptable and stupid and corrupt and evil all of this is.
One thing though, John.
And by the way,
mainly these supporters and these enablers, powerful people that are enabled outside of just the supporters who are rah-rahing and swinging flags, they know it's wrong. They want wrong. So this is the hard thing. And this is what I think many folks who see reality, and it's not a left or right thing, folks who see reality, because there's plenty of former Republicans or Republicans that are not MAGA Republicans who say, yo, this is wrong. And they're considered rhinos and all that stuff now. The folks who don't say this is wrong, or folks who don't want things like this fixed, they understand that they're fascist. So there's no convincing them, yo, you know what, maybe you should think about what fascism is and think about how you're completely going around the judicial system, and you're making sure that you're sending folks away that actually have no criminal records and aren't what you claim for them to be, or you haven't proven it. Because if it's easy, shouldn't you be able to prove it in 5 minutes in a court, since it's so damn simple? So those folks who are still in support of it, they're admitting they like this, they want this. So there's no, it's like, yo, I'd like a huge bag of Skittles. You're not gonna convince me that I don't want it, because I do. So why would you have this argument with me about what I just said I wanted? It's just what they want.
I was so following your argument, and then you landed on Skittles, which are universally one of the most disappointing candies to eat. They look so appealing, and then you start eating them, you're like, my jaw is exhausted right now. Okay?
Try Jelly Bellies then, try Jelly Bellies.
I wanted food, I didn't want exercise. I'm not trying to do that incel jaw enhancement or whatever, which is literally just eating Skittles. Anyway, and then I just want to end on this. Yes, they want the evil, they want all that. They want to know that this guy died, by the way. There are millions of people in America that want confirmation that this innocent man was murdered. But beyond that, Hey, remember when we were like, oh, possible constitutional crisis? What if the Supreme Court tells him to do something and he just says no? He did that. This wasn't like a lower court. This wasn't Boasberg or whatever. This was the Supreme Court, which he put, I think, 30 members on or whatever. They told him to do a specific thing and they were like, no, we're not doing that. So that's the part of this presidency we're in. Everybody's acting chill and cool and everything. And I know The Last of Us is back. We're all very excited about it. It wasn't just me. But he already said he's not gonna follow what the SCOTUS says. So I feel like that's dangerous territory.